Hello, everybody, and welcome back to NWCL Beyond the Boundary, the first one of 2026. And today we are joined by Barnoldswick Cricket Club's chairman, is Paul Beech. How are you, mate?
I'm very good, Kobe. How are you?
Very well, thank you very much. So, obviously, first one 2026, it is the middle of March, which is about a month away. But obviously, we've had Johnny on Beyond the Boundary last season. But for yourself, can you just tell us a bit about yourself? So, how you involved at the club and playing German, obviously. Anything about that?
I've had a very long association with Barnoldswick Cricket Club. I started as a junior down at the ground there. Really got involved through a very good friend of mine, Ian Scothen, who tragically passed away from cancer quite a while ago. Ian was my best friend growing up, and Ian's family were a cricketing family. Mine particularly wasn't, but Ian's family was. And through my great friendship with Ian, I got involved with playing cricket at Ian's house against two older brothers, which was very competitive. So we had to be on our mettle there and then down at the ground. In those days, there was only an under 18s junior team, so to get in that team, you had to be good enough. So Barnoldswick Cricket Club's been my home club throughout my cricket career. I've been blessed throughout my cricket career. I really enjoyed my cricket. It's been the love of my life. I was fortunate enough to play minor counties cricket for Cumberland, and I was club professional in quite a few different leagues: the North Lancs League, the Bolton Association, the Ribblesdale League, Air Wharf League, and I also enjoyed four fantastic seasons with Nelson Cricket Club in the Lancashire League, playing with and against some of the best players in the world. So I played in an era where we were so fortunate that the international cricketers in the wintertime actually did travel to come and play local league cricket, Central Lancs, Lancashire League, Bradford League. You don't see the likes of that quality of professional anymore because those lads play 12 months a year international cricket. But I was fortunate to play in an era where we got to play with and against some of the world's very best. So that's a little bit about me.
Brilliant to hear. So, obviously, Barnoldswick obviously had a relatively good season last year, depending on which team you look at. So, obviously, we'll go through each team, but we'll start off with you first. So, obviously, you're promoted into Prem. Obviously, I assume that was the main goal of last season. So, can you tell us a bit about that season and how you think it went on the whole, just for the first team?
Well, for the whole club, um, and for all the leagues around, we were so blessed with the weather last summer. The weather was absolutely fabulous, and that was a really good summer for everybody. So there were lots of cricket played. The wickets were good. It brought more supporters out. It brought, the youngsters enjoyed it ever so much. So our first team, that's what we did. We set out for promotion. With a couple of lads come back into the fold, Abdul and Amir Sadiq, which were two tremendous additions to our team. But yeah, we had a really good season. We finished on joint level points with Astley Bridge. Had we not got rained off the last game of the season, potentially we could have won it outright. But we finished on joint points. They won the league down to runs scored per wickets lost. We had a fantastic campaign with the first team with some real good standout performances throughout the team throughout the season. So we thoroughly enjoyed that, Kobe.
Brilliant. And obviously, you mentioned mistakes there and went into Johnny last year. You mentioned as well how good it was to see. I think it's called Manny at the club. So if we look at him in particular, obviously he averaged 47 with the bats and 12 with the ball. And only I think only played about 7 games. How good was it to see him back in the side? And surely that was a big reason why you got promoted in the end.
Well, yeah, Manny's class. Manny is a really, really, really good amateur cricket with the bat and the ball. He hadn't played for us for a few seasons, but he came back last season and he was a big factor. A big factor. He didn't play every single game for us. He played when he could, but he made us so much stronger, Kobe. And he leads from the front. He's a very talented lad. And we were delighted to have him and his brother back in the fold at Barley Cricket Club. And I don't think we would have achieved what we did without not naming names, but without Abdul Mani. We probably wouldn't have done as well as we did. So it was great.
Brilliant. And now focusing on your second team. Obviously, you play in the Round Bottom Cup. And we managed to become finalists in there. Unfortunately, we couldn't win. I think they lost to Barrowford. But how would you say the second team went last year?
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, the cup final was one step too far for the second team. They had a competitive season, I think would be said. I think they finished sixth mid-table throughout the year, with some of our youngsters coming along and developing within that team. Did really well, as we said, to get to the cup final. And as I say, it was just a step too far. But yeah, with the second team is like the third team, a development team. Next season, we're going to put more of an emphasis on our youth cricket for the second team. So it may well be that our second team don't have a successful season within the league, but we're really keen as a club to bring our youngsters through the second team setup.
Brilliant. So obviously, you mentioned obviously the youngsters coming through the second team, and obviously you have a third team as well. And it wasn't too successful in the league, but it must have been a good opportunity for these 13, 14, 15-year-olds to play 40 over cricket with some of
Yeah,
the senior players and really learn from them and develop as cricketers that hopefully then become second team or first team cricketers in the future.
absolutely, absolutely. It is so important. And I said at the start when I was introducing myself, when I first started at Barnoldswick Cricket Club, there was just an under-18s, and if you weren't good enough, you didn't play. But now the juniors are blessed. All from a young age, there's more opportunity for them to play cricket. They've got the All Stars, and then we've got a lot of youngsters come down to Barnoldswick Cricket Club on a Friday night. We've got the coaches in place. That is the future. That is the future of not just Barnoldswick Cricket Club, but all the clubs, all the amateur cricket clubs. And it's difficult. It's really difficult to keep these youngsters all the way through from 6 years old to 17, 18 when they're potentially good enough for the first and the second team. But that is, the bringing the juniors through the second team and the third team is paramount for the future.
Brilliant. So obviously your pro and overseas probably plays a big part in that. I think I see it on social media. Obviously the juniors all being together with the pro and overseas with Trenton, Darren, and obviously we had a very good year as well last year. In addition to what we do with the juniors, Trent scored over 1,000 runs, Darren scored 682 runs and 57 wickets. How important would you say they were to your club last year, both on and off the field?
Massive, absolutely massive. Two great lads, two brilliant lads. They totally immersed themselves in Barnoldswick Cricket Club last season, and that's absolutely what you want from your pro and your overseas. It is a big expense for small cricket clubs to bring guys halfway around the world to play cricket. You've got your airfare, you've got your accommodation, you've got your match fees, and it's not just about them coming to the club and getting 1,000 runs or getting 800 runs and 50 wickets. That's a big part of it. But the whole concept of the investment to the club on those two cricketers on their own, your pro and overseas, is a massive investment. And we, at Barnoldswick Cricket Club last year, got 100% value out of both of those cricketers, both on and off the field. The juniors adored them both. They're a bit of a two-man team, Trent and Darren. They get on tremendously well together. They stayed in the same accommodation all the summer, and they built up a very strong relationship. And as I said, the junior section at Barnoldswick Cricket Club idolised those two lads, and absolutely delighted that they're both coming back. So if we can get some sunshine, that's what we need. We need some sunshine.
Definitely. So it's obviously brilliant to see them coming back. I'm sure quite a lot of clubs in that top division are going to cause them a few problems in that year. So obviously looking ahead into 2026 now, what would you say your expectations are across the different teams, especially for your first team are going into a very difficult division?
Yeah, we're well aware. We are well aware that it will be a step up. I played a lot of league cricket, and there are good league cricketers in most leagues, and yeah, in the Prem division, I'm sure there'll be one or two better cricketers and a bit more depth in teams. But we go into it with our eyes wide open. I'm sure we will be competitive. I'm 100% sure we'll be competitive. We're looking forward to it very much. We're looking forward to the challenge of playing stronger teams, or even though there's some strong teams in the championship, we're really looking forward to it. And I think we're well placed. I wouldn't dare to dream that we say that we'll be anywhere near the top. But if we do have a good season and our players play to their full ability, then I'm sure we will be very competitive. And you never know. You never know.
You never know exactly. So obviously we mentioned how competitive that team is. Would you say you haven't set any expectations? Obviously you want to stay in the division. Would you say that's your main priority, or are you trying to see
Yeah,
how it flows?
absolutely. I think if we can retain our Premiership status for 2027, the club will be delighted at that. And that is the main target. I think it's the minimum target, but it's the main target. We want to be winning more games than we're losing. As I said, it will be tough. But we've got some really good lads in and around our first team. And with a bit of luck and a fair wind, then I'm sure we'll do well. I'm sure we'll do well.
Brilliant. And obviously, going to that team, you weren't in the top division unless that first year, obviously, we had a full team of 24. Obviously, you leave your local rivals either behind or in the championship division. But obviously, you're going to play a lot more teams. You're going to go for new clubs. You're going to see new people, arguably better professionals, better players. Would you say that's going to really empower your players to really do well? Because the high players around you, the high ability players, are really going to empower them to really be on the top game and top game as well they can do.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I really think that when I played my cricket, I found it, especially batting, easier to bat against better bowling. Um, you've more of an idea where it's coming from, where it's going to land. So I think apart from the professionals and the overseas, there'll be one or two clubs with real top pros and real top overseas, and we're well aware of that. But us at Barnet Cricket Club, we've got a top pro and a top overseas, and I'm sure our lads will step up. It will be very competitive, Kobe, but you know, if we step up to the next level and rise to the challenge, there's no reason why we can't more than hold our own in the Premiership.
Fantastic. And obviously, going to the Premiership, as it comes with different clubs, new incomings, outgoings, and actually, you actually signed a new player yesterday. So, can you just go through the club's incomings, outgoings that you have this year?
Yeah, so we're fortunate with no outgoings, so we're just as strong, which is great. And we announced a quality new signing last night at 7 o'clock. A young man called Owe Shah. Owe has played Lancashire second team. He's played Scotland under 19s and Scotland A team. Played um, in the Liverpool comp. A lovely lad, a real nice, lovely, down to earth lad. He's moved to the area, and we got wind of this, and we moved very quickly to try and get him on board. It's a quality left-hand bat. Um, been through the Lanc system and the Scottish system, and we're absolutely delighted to announce his signing for Barnoldswick Cricket Club. It will give us more depth. Uh, he's only a youngish lad. He's 27, so he's at the right age. Um, he's a gun fielder, and on top of being a really good cricketer, a really nice lad, and he'll fit in well with our team and our club. So we're absolutely delighted that Oasis decided to come to Barnoldswick Cricket Club. Yeah, so we're absolutely delighted.
Brilliant.
He will give us some real extra depth, and his vast experience in a short period of time will not just be good for our team. He said that he'll get involved with the juniors, which is unbelievable. We've got Trent, Darren, and Oaze with our juniors, with all of our junior coaching team as well. He's yeah, he's really good for the club, and not just our team, but for the club in general.
Brilliant. And obviously, your captains play a big part in the club. Are your captains staying the same for this season?
So our first team captain Matt Kavanagh is staying on again as captain. Matt's a really good guy. He's a football non-league manager. Quite a high standard. He's manager at Silsden Football Club. So he will miss an odd game at the start of the season because of his football managerial responsibilities. But Cav's a really good guy. He's a thinking captain, and he demands quite highly of his players, which is brilliant. Sean Lemon is stepping down as a captaincy from the second team. He had some personal issues. Sorry, Chris Lemon, not Sean, that's his brother, cousin. So Chris is stepping down from the second team captaincy. The second team captaincy is yet to be decided. And then the third team captain will, I'm sure, will that's going to be the same. So apart from the second team skipper, the skippers are the same.
Brilliant. And looking into your long-term plan at Barnoldswick, obviously you mentioned juniors there and the club and everything else. What would you say your long-term plan is at Barnoldswick for both on and off the field?
Okay, so on the field and off the field, our long-term plans are very similar. We've invested heavily. Our cricket committee has grown over the last 5 years tremendously. There are more people willing to get involved and do more jobs and help around the club. So the club is on the up. Our membership is up. We've got a brilliant secretary, Mel. She works tirelessly for Barnoldswick Cricket Club, and our junior section is thriving at the moment. So the future of Barnoldswick Cricket Club is within developing and bringing on our junior players. as I say, we've got a lot of juniors down there. I think we're going to have two under nines, two under 11s, two under 13s. There's a little bit of a gap before a slightly older age group, but yeah, we've got a really good plan in place for developing the youngsters. Excuse me, investing in the juniors, and that's the only way that Barnoldswick Cricket Club will be able to carry on um, along the path that it's going. So we're a couple of years yet from. We've got three good youngsters, mid teenagers who are all capable cricketers. So within the next year or two, hopefully one or two of those might well break into the first team. But over the next 4 or 5 years, hopefully we'll start reaping the rewards of the investment that we're making into junior cricket. We've got we've raised quite a lot of funds for a new artificial practice facility, so that will be really good for the juniors and the seniors, and also the women's cricket that we'll be bringing to Barnoldswick Cricket Club this year. So we are investing into not just extra coaching. We're investing in our infrastructure, if that's the correct word, with new artificial netting facilities, which will benefit seniors and juniors. But that's definitely the way forward. The junior development is key for Barnoldswick Cricket Club.
And obviously we did many of these last year, and juniors were the forefront of everything. Improving your juniors. If you can get a junior from under nines all the way through to playing first, if you get that, but you also get the parents coming to watch, you get a bit more bar money. Bringing one junior in, we get the siblings coming through. It really does enhance the club, doesn't it, across many different stakeholders in that junior person's life.
Absolutely, Colby. Absolutely. And as I say, the junior player will have parents and siblings. Our Friday evenings down at Barnoldswick Cricket Club are absolutely brilliant. We've recently gone through a process of making our club bar. There's a lot more choice. We've improved the bar facility, and people are coming down on a Friday night, and they're looking forward to the Friday nights. Just not the kids love the cricket. They love coming down with Trent and Darren. The parents are enjoying the coming down. As I said, the weather's key to this as well. The weather's key to this, but they'll come down at 5 o'clock. And if we've got a T20 game during the summer, the same people that are there at 5 o'clock are there at 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. It's a real it's a real family affair, and with because we're bringing more youngsters into the club, again, that's bringing parents and siblings, and yeah, we're in a very strong position, and yeah.
So obviously at the start you mentioned about you being a player, you playing quite a high level. Obviously you've been watching a lot of cricket recently, been playing local cricket in recent years. But what would you say you like and don't like about local cricket nowadays? Obviously you mentioned a few things before, but what really stands out to you nowadays, which maybe you had when you were younger and it's a bit different now?
Yeah, I think the society's changed over the last 30 or 40 years. When I was very young, um, when I was very young, people didn't have the internet wasn't around. A lot of people didn't have cars. People, went away at Barlick fortnight for the summer holidays, and the town closed down. But the world's changed now, and there's so much more accessibility for people, both young and old, to do different things. So one thing that is not as good as it was when I first started is actually the number of people coming down to watch Saturday afternoon cricket. I've seen photographs at Colne and Nelson and when Cole played Nelson in the 1920s. You know, there must have been 15,000 people there. There were people sat on the walls, because people didn't have the option of jumping in a car and driving down the road or whatever. You know, it was the centre of the community, the cricket club and the football club going back in the day. And it disappoints me sometimes when I go to watch Barnoldswick or other, Lancashire League cricket, where there isn't the interest that there used to be in days gone by. You know, the the big crowd when I played Lancashire League for Nelson, there were big crowds. You know, if you've got a 50 or a fiver, you've got a really good collection, and I miss that in league cricket now. I really miss don't get me wrong, there are some clubs, especially likes of Little Lever that do attract big crowds, which is great. But you don't see as many people down at the cricket as before. And I think, I go and watch Barnoldswick and there's some great cricket to be watched. So that's one of the main the main differences, I think, between when I was young and now.
Yeah. And when you were younger and you was obviously raising your child, Johnny Beech obviously playing first team cricket now. No, when he was younger, could you always see that he would go into being a good first teamer nowadays? And how difficult would you say it was when you were younger to kind of get into all the games, into the junior games, senior games? How difficult was that for you?
Well, it wasn't particularly difficult because I had my cricket career, and Tuesday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Sundays were all cricket. So nothing changed when Jonathan came along. And Jonathan, from being a babe in arms, came along to the cricket. So Jonathan's Saturdays and Sundays in the summer, from before he can remember, revolved around the cricket. So it wasn't, it was a natural progression for Jonathan. Thankfully, he showed, uh, you know, promise with his ability as a youngster. The most important thing for me was that he enjoys his cricket. He enjoyed his cricket, and he enjoyed it to much that he did want to. He did want to play, and he did want to. Play the best that he can and train and work hard, and he's still the same now. Jonathan's 27. He's really keen. He has good days and bad days on the field, but he has got a good talent. He is a talented cricketer, and he's retained my interest um, in in league cricket. I support Jonathan. I support Barnoldswick Cricket Club, but I support Jonathan as well. And he's a good cricketer, and taking him to area trials and trials for this and nets for this and that was just what we did as a family. So it wasn't putting us out by any means. We were delighted to do for him.
Fantastic. So lastly, obviously, we did this with all our people we had last year. Is some quick fire questions. I sent you these before. So the first one is the best player you played with and against.
Right. Okay. Well, I can't just give you one name. I can't give you one name. I played, as I say, I played club cricket. I played minor counties cricket as well. So I've played cricket all around the UK. Um, so I'll give you the best bowler, the best batter, and the best all rounder I've played with, and then again. But there are so many names, Kobe, that I could give you 10 different names in each category. So the best player, the best bowler that I've ever played alongside on a Saturday afternoon was a Pakistani first class um, a bowler called Jaffer Nazir. Jaffer was unbelievable. He came to us at the latter stages of his career. He was quick, he was aggressive, and he had the best Yorker I've ever seen in club cricket. You get a wicket, and then all you need to do for the next ball, you look at the bottom of the middle of the stump, and it was always out the ground, or Japanese was absolutely brilliant, just shy of 100 wickets. The best batsman I've played with is a guy called Ashley Metcalf. Now, Ashley Metcalf was Yorkshire and Notts. I played with Ashley at Cumberland in the minor counties, and he was past his best when I played with him, but his quality was even there in his mid to later 30s, and I would probably say technically he was probably the best batsman I've played with. And the best all rounder, another Pakistani first class cricket pro that came to Barnoldswick, a guy called Imran Khalid, left arm bowler, slow left arm bowler, and batsman. And at that snapshot of time when he came to us, he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. So Imran Khalid would be the best all rounder. Those are the players I played with. The players that I've played against potentially with the bat. I've got to really say Mike Gattin, who was an ex-captain of England, played against Mike Gattin when Cumberland played against. They played against Middlesex. Sorry, yeah, they played against Middlesex at Carlisle. That was my first NatWest Trophy game. Middlesex against Carlisle. Mike Gattin got 70 odd that day, man of the match, but he's probably the best bat I've played with. The best all-rounder I played against. The best all-rounder I've played against. So I've played against a lot of top names. Colin Miller stands out for me, the ex-Australian Test cricketer. What a talented guy. They call him the Freak. He proed for Rottenstall in the Lancashire League when it was, when the quality was very high. Got 1,000 runs and 100 wickets in that league. And I'm going to say the best bowler I've come across was probably the fastest bowler that I've come across. West Indian quick bowler called Hartley Elaine rocked up one day at Todmorden Cricket Club to play against Brendan McArdle. We didn't know, but Brendan was injured that day, and a fit Hartley Elaine came running in, and it's the quickest I've ever seen on a cricket field. The guy was absolutely lightning. Talked to a good friend of mine, Mike Ingham, who's a Lancashire League legend, and he said he was the quickest. Hartley was the quickest out of all the West Indian quicks that he faced, and he faced them all. So, yeah. So those, it would have been easier just to give you one name, but in a cricket career in the length of my cricket career, I just couldn't give you one name.
No worries. So the next one is your favourite cricketing memory.
Well, my favourite cricketing memory is of actually my career. In 1999, playing for Cumberland in the Minor Counties Championship, we won the Minor Counties Championship in 1999, which was unbelievable. And in the same year, we got to the one-day cup final at Lords. So I can't top that. Winning the championship and getting to the cup final at Lords. Unfortunately, we got beat by Bedfordshire in the final, but as I say, playing at Lords, you can't beat that. You can't beat that.
Brilliant. And your favourite cricketing legend?
Ian Botham.
Absolute
legend on and off the field. Absolute legend.
Brilliant. And lastly, the biggest pet peeve in amateur cricket?
I'm struggling with that one. because I enjoy watching amateur cricket. I enjoy watching professional cricket and top class cricket. And I think, yeah, I think I touched on it slightly before. I think that my peeve is on a Saturday afternoon that there aren't more people interested to come to watch and enjoy local league cricket because it is fantastic. You don't have to travel far. You get to meet a lot of nice people, on and off the field. And that's one of my peeves is, you know, I'd like to see more people. It's great when Barnoldswick play here, being it's a nice day. There's lots of people down, local T20 Friday nights. There's lots of people down, but it's the run of the mill. But it's a little bit the same like that in county cricket as well. So that's my peak. Yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed we get some nice weather this summer. I mean, obviously that'll gain more crowds down, hopefully. So I think that's everything I've got written down. Is anything that you'd like to discuss before we finish?
No, no, I appreciate you. I'm quite proud to be the first one on for 2026, so I'm happy about that. No, I've enjoyed our conversation, and as I say, if we need some good weather. It's been a wet winter. It's raining now as I sit and look outside, but if we can get some good weather, that's what we want. We want some good weather, and hopefully, looking forward to a really good competitive cricket season.
Brilliant. So thank you so much for coming on, and I wish Barnoldswick the best of luck in the Premiership next season.
Appreciate it, Kobe. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank
Thank
you.
you.